All right, my name is Todd Thomas. Welcome to Explore St. Louis's annual Be a Tourist in Your Own Town Expo. We want to thank everyone for coming out today and joining us for this fun event to help you explore all that St. Louis has to offer residents and tourists to our region. We have some very special guests here today to share some information about this event and National Travel and Tourism Week. First, I'd like to welcome the president of Explore St. Louis to the podium. Please welcome Kitty Ratcliffe.
Thanks, Todd. That one guy. Turn around, let them see. That one guy, Todd Thomas. Isn't he awesome? He makes going to the ballpark fun, even when there's nothing going on the field, because he's always in the stands doing lots of fun things, and we're glad to have him here today with us. You know, when he talked about having some VIPs, well, Bugs and Daffy, they were ready. They were ready to come on up and talk, but they can't talk. So I'm the mouthpiece. Welcome. We're celebrating National Travel and Tourism Week. That's a big deal for our community because 85,000 people in the St. Louis area work in tourism-related businesses, and visitors to our community spend billions of dollars of new money when they come to St. Louis, staying in our hotels, going to our restaurants, using our transportation, and going to great events like what's about to happen here this afternoon across the street. After we get done with the program today, I hope that you'll visit some of the vendors that are around for the Be a Tourist because they have great experiences awaiting you and your families this summer. We've got 60 vendors here, everybody from Circus Flora to Six Flags and many, many more. And they all offer a great product for our community. You know, a lot of visitors come to our community because of what we have, and you as residents of St. Louis can be a tourist in your own town, and that's what today is all about. You know, one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about this morning is our St. Louis Civic Pride Foundation, which was formed a few years ago to help celebrate and elevate and unleash civic pride in our community. And each year for the last few years, the Civic Pride Foundation has sponsored a contest for students. And you can see it here. It's the Ultimate St. Louis Tourist Contest. And so for the parents who are here today, please bring your kids to at least 3 visitor attractions this summer. Have the kids write about that experience and submit in a contest. We will pick winners in each of the 6 different age groups. And the prize is $500, and we will publish those essays on our website, in our annual visitor guide, and in lots of places. So, you know, get out and have a great Ultimate St. Louis tourist experience. Information about that is at explorestlouis.com/ultimate tourist, and entries are due by September 5th, so you can take all summer to have some fun. We have some great partners here with us today who have some exciting news that they're going to share with you, and I am waiting to hear that news as well. So I'm going to turn it back over to Todd Thomas to introduce them to you. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks, Kitty. You know, from one exciting event to another, St. Louis is renowned for our incredible 4th of July festivities. This year's celebration will be held in Forest Park, and here to give you an update on Fair St. Louis is Steve Pozarek, General Chairman of Fair St. Louis 2016, and Bob Chepchek, Chairman of the Fair St. Louis Foundation. Bob and Steve?
Good morning, and thank you, Kitty and Todd. It's great to be with you today to celebrate the multitude of attractions across St. Louis that inspire all of us to be tourists in our town. It's an honor to serve as Chairman of Fair St. Louis Foundation, and we're pleased to have with us today Steve Pozarek, General Chairman of Fair St. Louis 2016. Steve is at the helm of an unforgettable free event that draws hundreds of thousands of people from near and far to our city to celebrate our nation's independence. The Fair St. Louis Foundation continues to partner with corporate and civic leaders, including the St. Louis Convention and Visitors Commission, thank you, Kitty, and the City of St. Louis to host an unmatched 4th of July celebration, and this year looks to be no exception. After the tremendous success of Fair St. Louis 2014 and 2015, we'll gather once again for America's biggest birthday party in our city's iconic Forest Park, which was recently named the best city park in the nation by USA Today. The grounds, The grounds that once hosted the 1904 World's Fair and last year hosted an estimated 250,000 over the 3-day holiday weekend will, for the third year in a row, welcome back fairgoers to experience 3 days of memorable fun and entertainment. Saturday, July 2nd through Monday, July 4th, crowds will again blanket the sweeping expanse of Art Hill, where an incredible lineup of nationally recognized artists will perform for free over the 3 days of Fair St. Louis. Today, we're so excited to announce the official Fair St. Louis 2016 entertainment schedule. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Steve Poserick.
Thank you, Bob. Well, I am excited to be here today to share with you all the details of this year's fantastic fair. So let's get started, shall we? First off, the 134th Annual VP Parade will kick off the weekend of Independence Day celebrations at 10 a.m. on Saturday, July 2nd, with America's biggest birthday parade returning to the streets of downtown St. Louis. So this year's theme is Hats Off to Heroes, which celebrates our many hometown heroes, from first responders and members of our military to blue-collar workers, teachers and parents, and every hero in between. The parade will feature more than 130 units, including 14 major floats with live musical performances and more than 300 singers and dancers, together with giant helium balloons and many military units. Following the parade, the 36th Annual Fair St. Louis will open at 12 p.m. on Saturday, July 2nd in Forest Park. With the parade downtown and the fair in Forest Park, we'll have events spanning the city that day. The fair will have a variety of fun, free, family-friendly activities to keep fairgoers entertained throughout the course of the 3-day event. The Ameren Purina Family Festival Zone will be open all 3 days of the fair and feature face painting, mini golf, and much more. Fairgoers can also enjoy the interactive zone with the STEAM exhibit presented by Scope, which will showcase science, technology, engineering, arts, and math activities. Throughout the fair, thrill-seeking fairgoers will have a chance to ride a zip line high over Forest Park and take in majestic views of the Grand Basin and Art Hill. In addition, the Lake St. Louis Water Ski Club will hold daily demonstrations in the Grand Basin each afternoon. New this year, fairgoers can support local artisans in a unique shopping experience called the Fairway that invites regional artisans and vendors to sell their products throughout the fair. You too can become a vendor. Just look at our website, fairstlouis.org, to find out how. And in true fair tradition, a world-class fireworks show will cap off each night, sponsored by Edward Jones and Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Now, on to entertainment. On Saturday, July 2nd, the popular Salute to the Troops will take place in the afternoon on the Budweiser stage, followed by performances by country artists, including Show Me Country, the 135th Army Country and Western Band of the Missouri Army National Guard out of Springfield, Missouri. Following them, we have up-and-coming singer-songwriter Mo Pitney. Following Mo Pitney, we welcome the duo Low Cash, whose upbeat, contagious single, I Love This Life, recently hit number 2 on the Billboard country music charts. After Low Cash, we welcome musical comedy group Bobby Bones and the Raging Idiots, led by iHeartRadio and 93.7 The Bull host Bobby Bones. The group's first album, the critics give it 5 stars, recently debuted at number 1 on the Billboard's comedy charts and in the top 5 of the Billboard's country music albums. And finally, to cap off our first night of musical entertainment, we welcome chart-topping Nashville hitmaker Lee Brice, who will close the evening. His first album, I Don't Dance, debuted at number 1 on the Billboard country music charts, and his hit single Drinking Class was the number 1 most played single on country radio in 2015. On Sunday, July 3rd, the fair opens at 1 p.m. with daytime highlights, including continued family-friendly entertainment throughout the park. Afternoon and evening performances on our Budweiser stage include Fire for Effect, the 135th Army Rock and Pop Band of the Missouri National Guard out of Springfield, Missouri. Following them, we have New Orleans-based rockers Cowboy Mouth, led by multi-instrumentalist Fred LeBlanc, who puts on a fantastic show. Next up, we have legendary Grammy-nominated musician Eddie Money. His hit songs include 2 Tickets to Paradise and Take Me Home Tonight. And as previously announced, Grammy-winning Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, St. Louis favorite, the Red Rocker, Sammy Hagar, will rock St. Louis with his band The Circle, featuring Michael Anthony, Jason Bonham, and Vic Johnson. There's only going to be one way to rock that night, and that's at Fair St. Louis. The third and final day of Fair St. Louis begins at 1 p.m., and the fairgrounds in Forest Park will once again be filled with a variety of activities and vendors, sure to keep everybody entertained. Then, on the afternoon and evening of July 4th, to help us ring in America's birthday on the Budweiser stage, we're thrilled to present the Dirty Mugs, an eclectic band from right here in St. Louis that mixes high energy and choreography into their music sets. Following the Mugs, we have Here Come the Mummies, an 8-piece funk band made up of 5,000-year-old Egyptian mummies. After the Mummies, we get funk, soul, and rock group George Clinton and the Parliament Funkadelic. And finally, to close our night of musical entertainment, we welcome nationally recognized hip-hop recording artist Flo Rida. His hits include Right Round and the Wild Ones, and his current single, My House, recently just went platinum. With all these daytime activities, an impressive lineup of musical entertainment on the Budweiser stage, and the incredible nightly Edward Jones Enterprise Rent-A-Car Fireworks Show, I think you'll all agree that Fair St. Louis 2016 is shaping up to be another incredible event. So we are committed to delivering another free, fun, safe, and unforgettable experience for fairgoers, one that makes our community so unique and special. Thank you, and now back to my friend Bob Chapchak.
Thank you, Steve. Let's have another round of applause for that outstanding lineup. Of course, it wouldn't be possible to provide this outstanding entertainment as a gift to our community without the support of our amazing sponsors, including our presenting sponsor, Anheuser-Busch, and platinum sponsors Edward Jones, Emerson, Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and Nestle Purina. The ongoing success of Fair St. Louis is a direct result of the remarkable civic collaboration that sets our city apart. In addition to the city of St. Louis, the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department and the St. Louis Fire Department, we're pleased to count many other great organizations among our partners, including the Department of Parks and Recreation, Forest Park Forever, Metro, MoDOT, St. Louis Community College at Forest Park, Washington University School of Medicine, BJC, and of course, Forest Park Forever, and the many venues that are part of the park, including the St. Louis Zoo, the Muni, the St. Louis Art Museum, the Missouri History Museum, the Boathouse, the St. Louis Science Center and McDonald Planetarium, Probstein Golf Course, and the Dwight Davis Tennis Center. We value all of you as our partners and are excited to be working with you to host America's biggest birthday party in Forest Park. We also couldn't do what we do without the excellent staff at Fair St. Louis. Julie Donnelly, Nicole Stanner, and Kate Vanderweil do a terrific job working closely under the guidance of our board of directors. Their ability to accomplish so much year after year is in part due to the volunteer leadership team, committee members, and hundreds of other volunteers who donate so much time to this community effort. We're committed to working with the appropriate entities and neighboring communities to implement our tested, comprehensive transportation plan. We demonstrated last year that with advanced planning and solid communication, traffic and parking were hassle-free, and you can expect the same for this year. As fairgoers make plans to attend the event, they are reminded that using Metrolink, biking, or walking continue to be great options for getting to and from the fair. Keep in mind that fairstlouis.org will be updated in the coming weeks with all the latest on these options, along with the details about recommended driving routes and parking plans. The website is the go-to spot for all the latest news and information on Fair St. Louis. It's also where you'll find links to the fair's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube pages, as well as volunteer and vendor applications for the Fairway. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to welcoming you to Forest Park this July for America's biggest birthday party. Now, if you'd all take a look at the video board, here's what's in store for you at Fair St. Louis 2016, July 2nd through the 4th at Forest Park.